Hey, good people, Rachel and Jai here back again with Spark Equity in Action. We are happy to be here to also double click on a framework that we shared last time. So in our last video, we shared a framework called the Four Stages of Competence. And today we're going to double click on the first juncture point where you go from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence. And so we really want to talk about how that plays out and what comes up for people when they're in that phase. What would you say, Jai, is the big thing that we see most when it comes to this first phase of waking up?
In the first phase of waking up on an individual level, it's folks saying, whoa, now that I've gone through some unconscious bias and personality trait exploration, there are some things that I'm now aware of that I just don't know. Some of those are dynamics around asking other folks questions. Some of those are self-reflective practices that would help me in conversation. And sometimes for managers and team leaders, it's that, wow, I hadn't really thought that I'm not thinking about some of the connection points that folks are going to have to sustain the camaraderie and team energy that I'm trying to build.
That's great. Yeah. Because with diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging work, if you don't normalize that we all have biases and we all have blind spots and we all have things that we don't know that impact others, if we don't normalize that, we're actually missing a big part of the work, right? And so I think just normalizing that we all have some work to do. We're all a work in progress. We always say that at Spark, that like we are always learners of this work as well. And so the first step of just saying, hey, we're going to become aware of something that we did not know in this work on a very regular basis. That could just be helpful in and of itself to say, if you're committed to DEIB work, there are going to be things that get activated that we become aware of on a very regular basis. And that choice, once you're awake to something and you say, I now know that I didn't know that, that's a big choice point. And everybody has the choice to say, now that I know what I don't know, I'm going to choose to activate more learning, or I'm going to choose to stay here and maybe perhaps a more comfortable place. And that's a big choice point. And we know that that comes up a lot in conversation as well, just about what that can bring up for people that are already stretched or not feeling like they have the capacity to do all the work that is required to build that competency, right?
Absolutely. And later on, we'll talk about what this continuation looks like as we have activated awareness going from unconscious to conscious in the incompetence phase. Now we have the opportunity to think about what intentionally can we do in terms of our actions and our accountability to move us further into the competent stage in both the unconscious and conscious way.
That's right. Absolutely. Stay tuned for our next video where we really zoom in on that conscious, going from conscious incompetence to conscious competence. That'll be our next video. And again, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely share your comments, questions, reactions, thoughts below. And if you're interested in taking your work to the next level today, you can download our ebook, Inclusion Starts with I, and let us know what that sparks for you as well. We look forward to our next chat. Thanks, y'all.